So we're setting the expectation. We're giving them that thought process because I know it's going to be powerful information. You know why? Because they've never heard it. They've not heard anything about SISEL. So when you set the right expectation for that individual, then their response is it's going to be powerful. Secondly, after they've listened to the information, this is what you want to do. You have to do it this way. You now want to start giving directions. On a scale of 1 to 10, based on what you've already heard, are you the person that wants to build a business with me? Or would you like to be one of my preferred customers? Anything above a 7, you want to set up the next step, which will be step 3, and I'll get to that in a second, which is the 3-way call. Anything below a 6 or below a 7, you want to initially start them into the enrollment process to become the preferred customer. I'm going to show you how the person says, you know what, I'm not interested in business. Great. So now you want to immediately transition them into a preferred customer. How do you do that? Simple and easy. Jarrell. He listened. He says, I'm not interested in business. He gave me a number. I'm listening for a number. Whatever that number they tell you, that's their number. No matter how bad you want them to see it from a business perspective, whatever that number is, it's their number. Does that make sense? So Jarrell said he's a 6. Great. Hey, I need you to do me a huge favor. First word. I need you to do me a huge favor. Because people don't like being sold something, but they love doing people a favor. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. I just started my business. And I would like for you to support me in my new endeavor. Can I count on you to do that? For 30 days, I want you to try my products. And after that 30 days, I want you to tell me the experience that you had after using the products. Can you do that for me, please?
Right.
Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. Can he say no to that? He can say no, but based on our relationship, because I didn't ask him, I based it on our relationship. Can you do me a huge favor? My daughters do that to me all the time. Daddy, I need something. You might know what I'm talking about. I was up at 3 o'clock this morning. She had a field trip, got back. So I laid down. I didn't even lay down. I stayed up because my daughter said, Daddy, I need you to pick me up. So that's the same emotional tie that we have when we're asking people to become a customer. Does that make sense?
Right.
Now, after we've done that, the other converse is now someone who's interested in the business. That's the purpose of a 3-way call. As a team, we need to understand that. The 3-way call is simply designed to invite that individual to the next event. Right? If a person wants product information, that's what the website is for. Right? But we want to make sure that when we're doing 3-way calls, we're doing 3-way calls with people who are interested in becoming a business partner. And there's no magic in what we're going to say to make them want to do the business if you have not taken them through the steps properly. Does that make sense? Yeah. So, as we're talking about setting up a 3-way call, we want to generically edify the expert in a way which I'm going to share with you now. Because here's what I want you to understand. Anyone in this room who's been edified properly can conduct a 3-way call. So it's not about whose organization and we're the team, we're business partners. So these are terminologies that we must embrace to help everyone's business flow. Because guess what? I know that every time I engage someone, I may not personally relate to them. But if I know someone who's in the medical field, who's a nurse, who is an anti, I'm going to need you to do 3-way calls for me because you can speak to that individual based on where you are. So that's the importance of understanding the team dynamic and edifying the team. So as we're talking about edifying the expert, it's just simply someone we've held in high regards, we've spoken positively of to that individual. So the first thing we want to say is this. My business partner, it could be a he or she, has positioned themselves to generate tremendous amounts of revenue. Is that a true statement? Yes. That means if you have not generated any income, am I being truthful? Right? It doesn't matter how much that individual is making. But if that individual is making money, he's making a great deal of revenue. Right? So that's the first thing we want to do. Secondly, he or she knows what it takes to be 100% successful. he or she knows what it takes to be 100% successful. Number 3, he or she knows how and loves having fun. And I always end my edification with this. And most importantly, this individual that I'm working with, he or she really, really, truly loves helping people. And that's why he's taking time out of his schedule to answer this call. Because an expert is always busy. And we have to set that 3-way call up because now the expectation is set, because now we don't want Grayson or C. Thomas or any of you leaders on a call for more than 3 to 5 minutes. If you on a 3-way call for more than 5 minutes, that means the other steps you violated. They haven't been exposed because there are only a certain amount of questions that should be rendered. And that at that point, the expert should only be giving directions to whatever the next event is. So those 3 steps, peak an interest, expose them to the information, and the 3-way call. That's what we really understand and how to build a business, utilizing the one-sheet presentation. And all of that other information is going to systematically allow all of our organizations to grow simultaneously and exponentially. So what have we done? We've reduced it down to the ridiculous. We've made it simple. It's easy. So now no longer do I really have to, we made it a one-pager, but the most importantly is I can ask that question. I can dial a number. I can set up a 3-way call with the experts. So now we have an opportunity to do that. And then lastly, what we want to do is be inclusive of everyone that we come in contact with. And that's why we know our message, our mission, is to help people become healthy people. Because think about it. Even as successful as we all are individually and collectively, we know some people right now that, first of all, need some additional benefits from the products. Who can agree on that? And we know we now live in a time period where, there's no such thing as job security anymore. People are looking for something. And with this information that we all have, it is a necessity that we just share the information. Because you cannot say the right thing to the wrong person, or you can say the wrong thing to the right person. So all we want to do is just expose people to the information, simply share it, edify one another, love one another, get the information to the right person, help them make a decision, and let them know. Lastly, and this is why I know our team, we're going to change history, the way the industry is treated, what people receive this information. And we have the opportunity to set that precedent now because of the support. And I hear it all the time. Are you going to be there? We will be here for you if you're willing to be here for yourself. At the end of the day, we're locked in. We're here. I'm in agreement with my business partners at Grayson Marshall. I am now officially unrecruitable. There's nothing else anyone can tell me about any other company. What we've experienced and where we are right now, just to know that I'm still scratching my head like, wow, am I alive? And is this a dream? It's less than 1,000 people in this company. And this is 2011. And I've never been recruited by anyone from Herbalife. And there's still people making millions and millions of dollars a month that I've never heard of. So that's the seat where each and every one of you are right now. So give yourself a hand clap.
I'm telling you guys, is that good stuff?
Yeah, man.
That y'all were taking fevers, Joe was trying to get y'all to respond. You're like, shut up, man. I'm waiting. Get that thing in there, boy. He trying to listen, respond. I'm ready. Say that again. And that's kind of where we are with this. And this is information we'll give. I want to bring up Caleb right now because he's going to finish up the day for us. But Caleb Hall is Director of Sales for North America. Joe said there's less than 1,000 distributors in the U.S. We have a whole plethora in those other 21 countries, but less than 1,000 in the U.S. But I asked Caleb to come because I really, he's, I'm telling you, we just connected. And here's a guy who really, he wants to see it succeed. And he says, what you guys are doing in that room is magical. He says, what you're giving to people is truly, truly what they're going to need. And I won't be happy until Tina Calloway is making, $20 grand a month. Love Tina. She's a marketing director, but it's funny how we can have that piece of paper from academia